the Amitabha Sutra, as translated by Tripitaka Master Kumarajiva. So this sutra is one of the 3 Amitabha Sutras that talk about the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss. And what makes this Pure Land Sutras so much more special is because these sutras were not instigated by anyone else in the assembly when the sutra was read or spoken by Sakyamuni Buddha. Why I say this is special is because basically 99.9% of all the sutras spoken by Sakyamuni Buddha was in response to a question or concern raised up by someone within the assembly, either a layperson, a monk, or a bodhisattva. This one was not instigated by anyone else because at the time, Sakyamuni Buddha did not mention this beforehand, and no one within the assembly, no one within the world understood or even had heard of Amitabha Buddha. And so if Sakyamuni Buddha was to instigate this on his own, it must mean that this sutra has a lot of power and merit behind it. And so this sutra is one of the founding sutras of the Pure Land school of Buddhism, which means that, so there are many different schools. There are 8 main schools, such as the Pure Land school, Zen school, the Lotus school, the Morality Discipline school, and all these schools practice Buddhism in a different way. Ultimately, the goal is the same, but they rely on a different sutra, which carries with it a different practice. This Pure Land school is very, very important because of how easy it is to practice and how powerful the scripture is. The Pure Land practice is one of the most popular Buddhist schools in the East. It's not so much practiced as much in the West, but although now it's gaining more popularity, this is very, very popular in Eastern Buddhism. So in China, in Japan, in South Korea, in Vietnam, among other of the Eastern countries. The reason why this is so popular is because it's the simplest Buddhist practice that leads to the highest supreme enlightenment of Buddhahood. The reason why it's so simple, as we will be made evident within the sutra, is because it only requires us to practice recitation of Amitabha Buddha's name, and by doing so, upon the time of death, if we are able to maintain mindfulness of his name and his Pure Land, we will attain immediate rebirth in the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss. And by doing so, we transcend the cycle of birth and death immediately, whereas normally the Buddhist cultivation takes many lifetimes to attain the fulfillment of the ultimate state. This practice allows us to attain rebirth not in the human realm or the heavenly states, but directly in the Pure Land of ultimate bliss, where we will continue to practice until we attain Buddhahood. Every other school of Buddhism requires us, unless we attain enlightenment in this very life, it requires us to continue the practice the next life, and then the next life, and then the next life. So the fact that we are now currently practicing Buddhism now, there's a very, very strong chance that this is not the first lifetime that we've practiced Buddhism, and this is just a continuation of the practice. Perhaps this is the last life we are practicing in the human realm. If we are to cultivate Pure Land practice, the next life we will be in the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss to continue our practice. From there, we will not transgress back down to the lower realms, but we will stay in the Pure Land forever until we attain the ultimate goal of Buddhahood. This is the practice that is most recommended to people of the Dharma declining age. The Dharma declining age is the 3rd age. So the 3rd age after the death of the Buddha. The first age is the Dharma thriving age. The second age is the Dharma semblance age. And the 3rd age, which is now, is the Dharma ending age, the Dharma declining age. During this age, so just very quickly, the first age is the Dharma thriving age. After the death of the Buddha for 500 to 1,000 years, the Buddha Dharma was very, very strong. Everyone understood it because it was just after the passing of the Buddha. Everyone practiced it with firm belief, practiced it very diligently. Because of that, the first Dharma age, many people attained the higher states, attained enlightenment, attained Buddhahood. The second state was the Dharma semblance age, which is where it was still strong, but not as strong as the first age, because the first age had all the disciples of the Buddha, had all the support of the kings, had all the support of the practitioners, and everyone understood it. The teachings were still so close to everyone's heart. Second age is the next 500 to 1,000 years after the Dharma thriving age. So the second age, the Dharma was still strong, but it was slowly declining because of the distance between that period and the Buddha. Now we are in the Dharma declining age, which is 2,000 years after the death of the Buddha, the third age, and this year will last 10,000 years before the Dharma is predicted by the Buddha to be completely gone from the world. And so this is also what the Dharma preaches in terms of everything arises, sustains, and passes away. Arises, sustains, and passes away. This is the idea of impermanence, which the Buddha Dharma, even though it was spoken as words of truth by the Buddha, even the Dharma itself doesn't escape the faith of impermanence. So now we are in the Dharma declining age, where there is a lot more false Dharma being preached than truth being preached. And so it's very hard for the normal people to discern what is the light and what is darkness. A lot of people will take the darkness as light and practice the wrong teachings, which lead to unfortunate destinations. And so for people who are unable to discern right from wrong during the Dharma declining age, Sakyamuni Buddha has recommended very strongly the practice of the Pure Land practice because of how easy it is. All we have to do is to recite the Buddha's name, have his name imprinted in our hearts and mind, have faith in this practice, and we can do this as a layperson or as a monk. We can do this with whatever job we have, whatever role we take in the world. And so this is why this sutra is so popular in this age.